Hey everybody, it's the Library Lady with you today to share the next book on my segments called What's the Story? Today's book is the 13-Story Treehouse, a New York Times best-selling series written by Andy Griffiths and illustrated by Terry Denton. It was published in 2011 by the Macmillan Company. Now, this is a great book for any reader who's really into Captain Underpants, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, someone who really likes graphic novels. The pictures and illustrations done in here are fabulous, as is the story. Lots of kids just really immerse themselves in the story. It's funny, it's witty, it's crazy, it's wild, it's wacky. It's a great read. If you're not familiar with Andy Griffiths, he's actually an Australian author, and so you may or may not have heard of him before. But he's got lots of great books, a great website, which we'll talk about at the end of the segment. So, lots of fun things you can do with this story. As you know, if you've been tuning into a couple of my videos, I'm not going to read aloud the book, but just share a little snippet of it so you can see how it sounds and what it looks like, and then offer up some tips and ideas on how you can use it. So I would love to meet him one day. I have not had any personal interaction with him like some of the other authors I've shared, but fabulous author, really funny, and kids just eat this book up. So it goes like this. This is my friend Terry. All right, and here he is with his pencil. We live in a tree. Well, when I say tree, I mean tree house. And when I say tree house, I don't mean any old tree house. I mean a 13-story tree house. So what are you waiting for? Come on up. And there's this great illustration of the ladder inviting you in. And then I'll show you this page here of the 13-story treehouse. And you can see that it's just an amazing, very intricate, fun things packed inside this treehouse. And so these two boys, Andy and Terry, have this writing job. And so they're in their treehouse, supposed to be writing a book. However, all sorts of wild and crazy things happen within their treehouse and their adventures. It turns out they'll end up using these wild and wacky adventures to create a book, which was the original project to begin with. The two of them are just very funny guys that have a good time and quite a wild side. And so always up to some crazy interactions, lots of fun parts, make you laugh. Some really neat, just laugh out loud kind of parts. So a couple of things that you may want to do with this book. One thing is using just some props. Like a banana. You might think, what's a banana got to do with the story? They actually have a part where they pick a kind of everyday object or a random object that you have lying around, and they try to draw it. They have a little contest where they do some drawing. So see if your child can draw it and then label it. In the book, they actually use a finger, and it's very well detailed and labeled out. So just talk about diagrams and labeling and that kind of thing. You'll be surprised, and have your child really notice and observe what actually does that object look like, and did they portray it in their picture? So you can get a little arts and crafts time in there. One thing you might want to do is create another story to the treehouse. So as I showed you in the beginning here, there's a picture of the treehouse. You might decide what would be a great addition to that treehouse. So your child could write and or draw about what they think needs to be in the treehouse and maybe why. In that same light, you may want to just talk with your child. Which of these things that they have would you like to do the most? They have bowling alleys, swimming pool, all sorts of fun things. And maybe which ones you would not want to do. Maybe take all the fun ones that are exciting to your child and put them in a bag or a hat and pull them out and actually do them. So for example, go bowling. They have a lemonade fountain, so you could actually make some lemonade together, or maybe make some lemon bar, something with lemon product. So just use kind of what they have in their treehouse to create your own little adventure. You also might want to get into some making crazy gadgets. They have some really neat and funny ones. They have a vegetable vaporizer, always good to get rid of your broccoli that way, just gone. And so a lot of kids love that part. They have a flying cat sleigh in there. So what kind of inventions and crazy gadgets would you like to invent? Again, you can draw them, write about them, build them. Any of those things will work, especially for kids in this age range, kind of that 7 to 12-year-old range. Really might want to get on some hands-on activities to make their gadget. One of the characters or part of the story involves a cat that goes missing, Silky, and so maybe design a missing poster. Now, if you want to use your own pet as an example, you could certainly do that, or create your own animal or character, or something just kind of funny and offbeat, just like in the stories, a little wacky and wild. Maybe make a poster for a missing toilet paper roll, which if you've been out shopping and about these days, that's actually been missing from store shelves. So maybe try making an advertisement for that. They also have some neat food machines as well. Besides the vegetable vaporizer, there's a marshmallow machine that can fire off marshmallows. So maybe just enjoy making some marshmallow treats. Maybe make something out of marshmallows just to get into some marshmallow fun. If you're feeling, again, crafty and you want to build something, maybe make a treehouse using some cardboard or boxes. You can go ahead and put in all the features of your treehouse. So if you're thinking about maybe making that. Now, one fun part too is that they actually have a mix of a cat and a bird, a catnary, that comes into play. So maybe have your child find some animals or think of some animals. I picked out a dog and a bear, and what would happen if they merged? What kinds of special abilities would it have? What could it do? Why would that be a great animal to have? So fun thing to do. Also, some crazy monsters are in the story. They got some wild animals running around in the book. And if you want to look at maybe kind of a interesting twist on monsters, maybe go the direction of the Loch Ness Monster. Have your child read about that monster, research a little bit about it, learn something new about a famous monster. Another thing too, since Andy Griffiths is from Australia, is maybe actually use like Google Earth or something like that to map out where is Australia. Figure out how far away it is from your house to where Australia is. What's the time zone difference? And you can do a little map and time study in that. Another fun thing too is you can actually you can go online and order a Treehouse fun book. It's got all sorts of activities and ideas, and that's able to be purchased online. So you can look out the Treehouse fun book. His website does have a lot of great information on it. Again, since he is Australian, there's a little corner top piece in the right hand corner called like hey in the US or something, and you can click on that and it takes you to the US version of the website. In my copy, and I'm sure maybe a copy that you get, in the back is a snippet of book 2, which is the 26th story Treehouse, and here they've added some bumper cars and a skate ramp and all sorts of wild adventures. So if your child loves book 1, this is a great way to connect them and get them hooked in a series. And they've got plenty to read. They've got the activity book that they can do, and if you want to order that online. Another fun writing activity is if you use a simple writing book like this. This one I got just at Target. Here's the Target dollar sign there. And it's a fun little story starter. And so, for example, you just kind of flip and let's see, write a funny story about your teacher and a flute that spoke only in rhymes, okay? And so you can either tell the story, make it up, and write it, that kind of thing. And this is great for younger kids. This is a real simple, just kind of people, place, action kind of book. Now, this one that I own, published by a McDonald brand publishing company in 2003, is called Writing Stories, and it's for grades 4 through 8. And this is a little more detailed in terms of what to write about and the words and the vocabulary, and obviously not as colorful. But this one says, write a newspaper article about a shark that is conceited. So as you can see, the words are going to be a little bit higher up for older readers. So sometimes just getting something like a story starter, there's lots of different ones you can find online. Maybe you already own one, and that's a fun activity as well. So I think you're really going to love this book. I'm actually doing a book club on it on OutSchool. So I do teach on OutSchool as well, and maybe you've checked out my videos about that. And so I have a book club starting up soon for the 13-story Treehouse. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. I'd love to have you participate in the book club, where we'll read and do lots of fun activities around the 13-story Treehouse. So thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you check out Andy Griffiths' The 13-Story Treehouse, and then tune in next time for another great book on What's a Story. Don't forget, if you like the videos and you enjoy the book reviews, click that red subscribe button. If you have any comments or questions about children's books, feel free to leave those in the comments as well, and we'll see you on the next great read. Bye-bye.